Students, welcome back to the online classes of physics. This is Jonaima Miss. Uh, I hope everything is fine well going on with you all. Let us start with a new lesson, that is motion of ninth class. So let us go with the topics to be covered in the today's class. What is motion? Describing motion of a particle, in which we are going to learn about position, path length and displacement, uniform and non-uniform motion. Describing rate of motion, that is, in that we are going to learn about speed versus velocity. Next topic is describing rate of change of velocity, in which we are going to learn about acceleration. Next is distance and time graph, velocity and time graph, and uniform circular motion. Now next we will go with the first topic, that is what is motion. Okay, we will go with what is motion. So, to know what is motion, first we will know what is rest. Okay, what is rest? So, what is rest, children? Rest is nothing but when an object is not moving from its position, okay, from its origin. It's not moving from its origin. When the object you see is where it is placed is not moving, that means if a person is standing here, and that means he is not moving, he is standing here only. Okay, you can see that he is standing here only. But what is motion? Motion is nothing but when the same person starts moving from this place or this side or this position or this point of the place to next point. Okay, this is nothing but motion. Okay, we are very familiar with the idea of motion, isn't it? We see several examples. Like you see in your daily life also, you have so many, a lot in number of examples. Like we see motion of people, that is what I have shown you right now, that motion of the people, that is moving from one point to another, is the motion of people. And you see vehicles, you see trains moving from one place to another, you see aeroplanes, you see birds, you see raindrops, you see objects when they are thrown from down to air, and so many more examples we have, isn't it? So what it is generally, what is motion? Movement of one object from one place to another, isn't it? Movement of one particular origin. Movement of object from one particular origin is nothing but to another point is called as motion. Okay, so for example, we are going to take a car. Okay, this is your car. Now this car is not moving. This car is not moving. That means this car is at rest, isn't it? Now this car is at rest. It is standing here only. It is not moving. So if this car, now you start the car and this car now reaches at this position. That means the car is in motion now, isn't it? The car is in motion. For example, you're standing at your home. Okay, now you're standing here at your home. Okay, this is, you are at your house. Fine. Now after some time you have to reach your school. So what you will do, you will stand here only. If you are standing here, that means you are in rest position. If you starts moving and you will reach your school, that means you were in motion, isn't it? You were in motion. So I hope you understood what is motion, isn't it? See, if the earth is in motion, why don't we why don't we directly identify the motion of earth? For example, the sunrise and sunset also you see. Sunrise and sunset, why does that occur? Why the sunrise and sunset occurs? This is also because of the movement of our earth. That is, the earth is in motion, right? The earth is in motion. It's not resting, it is moving around the sun. That means the earth is in motion. It is revolving round the sun. So there occurs sunrise and there occurs sunset. Isn't it, children? Have you ever experienced the train in which we sit appears to move when it is at rest? Isn't it? See, you're sitting in the train and you're sitting in the train, okay, and you feel that you're in rest, isn't it? But actually the train is moving, isn't it? The train is moving. So why do you feel that when you are at rest you feel like the train is in motion or train is moving? The train in which you sit appears move when it is at rest. Why? To understand these questions, we need to understand the terms relative and motion. What terms we need to understand? We need to understand relative and we need to understand motion. These two terms are interrelated. Okay, we need to understand what is the term. We need to understand what is the term relative and what is the term motion. So, to great progress in understanding motion occurred when Galileo undertook the study of rolling balls on inclined planes. To understand this motion, we need to understand, as I said, we need to understand the relationship or the important role of relative playing in the explanation of motion. We need to first understand what is relative, then we will understand what is motion. So let us know what is relative. See, in a daily life, we use many statements, isn't it? To express our views, to express what we want to say, we use so many examples or many statements. Yes, the meaning of a statement depends on the relation in which it is made. Okay, if you're saying something, to relate that, you make a word sentence formation, okay, which is again said to be a statement. Does every statement have a meaning? Every statement, if you're giving us some statement. For example, if you're giving a statement, suppose these are the words: this circular is plate gaseous. Okay, if I'm giving you these words, these are some of the words. Does this send words, or if you make a statement out of this, is making any kind of meaning? Of course you will say no. Here they arise two kinds of statements. Yes, two types of statements. Here you can see that if you see statement 1, you can say that this plate is gaseous. Okay, is there any meaning in this sentence? You can find any meaning in this sentence? No, you cannot find any meaning in this sentence. If you go with the second statement, if I say this plate is circular, isn't it? If you say this plate is circular, this makes a sense, isn't it? This makes a sense. This shows that the plate is circular. This means that there is some relation. There is some relation in the statement. So this means that a statement has a meaning only when there is a relation between the words. Okay, the statement has a relation only when there is a relation between the words. It has the meaning only when there is a relation between the words, isn't it? Similarly, there may exist other situations in our daily life, like where there we use statements having meanings depending upon the situation. So let us know the relation respected to the position. Now I said this is somewhere what I have explained what is relation, what is here, what is that relativity which we are going to learn. Okay, then we have learned that the words which are relative to each other show some meaning. There is, if there is no meaning, if there is no relativity, then we can say there is no meaning of the statement. If there is a relativity between the two words, then we can say then there is a meaning, isn't it? It makes some sense. Now we will learn this relativity based on the position, respected to the position. So we will learn right or left position, or right or left position. So we will see that if two persons, if you say one person is here and the other person is here, and you can say that there is a house existing here, okay, so there is a house existing here, and if you see that these two persons are walking on the road, now you say which position does the house appears, okay, which position is the house seen. You can say that the house, if you take this person A and this person to be B, if this person is moving in this direction, then you can say that the house is his on his left side, okay, the house is on his left side. If the person, this person is coming into this direction, then both are in opposite direction, then we can say that according to this person the house is on right side, okay, according to this person you can say that the house is on right side. So we can say that depending on the position of the person we can tell the where the house is situated, isn't it? So here we can say that there are two answers. Okay, for person A we can say that the house is appearing, that is existing towards his left side, and to the person B we can say that it is towards his right side. So thus the position of the house is relative to the observer, where we can say that it depends on the observer where the house is present. Yes, so with this we can say clearly when speaking of left and right by position, he has to assume the direction based on which he can decide his left and right side, isn't it? Similarly we can say up and down. We can even say up and down, isn't it? If we go with up and down, the orientation like up and down be the same for all the persons at all the places, isn't it? For example, if I take a ball, suppose this is a ball, okay, suppose this is a ball and I have pinned here one pin, second pin, third pin and fourth pin. Now I am marking this pin as P, Q, R, S. If you see according to R, you can say that P exists up and R exists down. If you take the if you change the position again, if this S comes up, you will see that S is top, that is up, and Q is down. Okay. So similarly, depending on the position, we can say depending on the observer. It depends on the observer where it is up and which is down. Okay. So if we see accordingly, depending upon the position, we can say the objects appear at which site, okay, which point. They change with the point of observation, isn't it? They change in the at the point of observation. For example, if you take earth also, if you're saying that this is the earth, okay, if you, this is your earth, okay, a person A is standing here, okay, a person B is standing here, a person C is standing here, and a person D is standing here. Now we know that earth is sphere, right, spherical in shape. The upward direction of the vertical position on its surface depend upon the place on the earth surface where the vertical is drawn. Hence notion up and down have no meaning unless the point of earth's surface to which they differ is defined. So next we will learn motion is relative. Okay, motion is relative, or how it is relative to each other. See, like the terms right and left, up and down, larger, shorter, etc. Motion is also relative to the observer only. Okay, everything is depending on the observer only, isn't it? So for example, to understand the idea of motion, let us take the following hypothetical activity. Okay, we will go with this activity. So here is the activity. We will learn the activity here. Okay, the hypothetical activity I hope it is clearly visible. Okay, beside a road is shown here. See, one of the person here, Somesh, is standing, and another person, Srinu, is standing. Here exists one tree, and the car is moving to east direction. Okay, the car is moving in east direction. Now we will see the conversation between these two persons. What is the conversation? Srinu is saying, what is the state of motion of the tree? Definitely, what is the state of motion of the tree here? It is at rest, isn't it? So, Somesh, it is at rest. Srinu, what is the state of the car? What is the state of the car here? Car is moving, isn't it? So, definitely it is in motion. So, we say it is motion due A. It is moving due earth. That means it is moving towards the earth. Okay. Srinu, what is state of motion of the driver and the passenger in the car? That is, he is asking what is the state of passenger and the driver in the car. What do you think? What is the position of driver and passenger here? Definitely driver and passenger are sitting. They are at rest. They are not moving. But according to us observers, they are moving, but actually they are sitting in the car. They are resting. They are at rest stage. So they are also moving like the car. So here when the person is seeing from here, he is saying that it is moving along with the car. Srinu, how do you decide that the car, the passenger and the driver are moving? Somesh, with respect to us, the position of the car, the passenger and the driver are changing with time. So they are in motion. That means the position of the car, the passenger and the driver are changing with time. That means a few seconds back they were here and now they have moved to this position. That means they are in motion. Okay, so they are in motion. So till now we have seen the conversation between Somesh and Srinu. Okay, now we will see the conversation between driver and passenger, what they are talking. So driver is saying what is the state of motion of the tree. Passenger is saying that it is moving due west. That means they are, see, in the last page we have learned that the driver was moving towards east. They were moving towards east. But now you can see that the passenger and driver are speaking. So what they will say? They will say that the tree, as they were moving due east, they will say that the tree is opposite, in opposite direction. That means the tree is moving in the west. Okay, the tree is moving the due west. So what is the state of motion of both the persons beside the road? Obviously in opposite direction they are moving, so definitely they are due west only. So the passenger, they are also moving due west. Driver, what is my state of motion? Definitely according to them that they are sitting. Yes, according to them they are sitting. That means they are at rest. So passenger, you are at rest. Driver, what is the state of motion of car? Now you tell me, what is the state of motion of car? Definitely the motion of car is moving, isn't it? The car is moving. That means they are in motion. They are moving. Okay. So from this activity it is clear that the tree is at rest, isn't it? The tree is at rest and the Somesh and Srinu are standing. They are also at rest. They are standing on the side of the road, and the car, the passenger, the passenger and the driver, they are moving, isn't it? They are moving due east. Whereas the Somesh, he's standing, Somesh and Srinu, they are standing here, and tree is also here only, isn't it? So the car is moving due east. Whereas if you see according to the, when we are seeing according to the person standing here on the road, they are moving on the towards the east. When we see according to the passengers, those are sitting in the car, that means when the car is moving due east, that means the direction of the everything that you can see on the roads moving will be in the opposite direction of yours, isn't it? It will be in the opposite direction. That means they are moving in opposite direction, in the west direction, isn't it? So as the body is said to be in motion, its position is changing continuously with time relative to an observer. So everything depends upon the observer. So okay, Everything depends upon the observer. So as the observer understands it, like whatever is his views, we can say. See, for example, if I say, if I am sitting in a train and the train is moving, okay, if I am sitting in the train and the train is moving, that means if the train is moving here, we can say that the train is moving. Suppose if my friend is standing on the station platform, okay, my friend is standing on the station, so he or she will say that that the train and me, myself, is in motion. Okay, we both are in motion. Whereas if I see, according to me, that I am at rest and my friend is moving, that is in its opposite direction. Suppose I am moving in the east direction and I feel that my friend is moving in the west. Me and the railway station is moving in the west direction. Okay, in the west direction. Whereas that, according to my friend, the train and me are moving in the east direction. I hope this is understandable. Yes, till here I hope this is clear. If it is not clear, please go again, revise the topic and try to understand the class. Till then, wait for the next video. We will meet in the next class. Thank you.